right.
It is now 7 p.m. We call to order the City of Fairburn City Council meeting for Monday, August 10th, 2026. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
The Honorable Anatavia M. Benson.
Present.
The Honorable Linda J. Davis.
Present.
The Honorable Fannie Mae Hauser.
Present.
The Honorable Shanita Nichols.
Present.
The Honorable Samuel Perry.
Present.
And the Honorable Mayor Pro Tem Ulysses J. Smallwood.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Next item, please.
The next item is going to be the invocation by Pastor Evan Hill of First Baptist Church of Fairburn.
I don't see him. Okay, Tony, would you please do the honor? Mhm. Please stand if you're able.
Let us bow. Father, we come before you with bowed heads and humbled hearts, thanking you for the blessing of another day. Father, as we gather this evening to conduct the business of the city of Fairburn, we ask that you be with us throughout the length of this meeting. Father, bless our elected leaders that they be able to lead us with wisdom and with compassion so that the city and the communities will benefit. Bless our dialogue, that it be civil, that we represent civility to one another, and that we represent civility to our communities. Father, be with all of our first responders, our essential workers, men and women who help drive the services of this city. We ask that you bless and keep them in every situation. Father, continue to be with all of our communities in a changing world with challenges. Help us to continue to be safe, productive, and to create the type of community our residents, families, and residents would like to see. All of this we ask in your name. As every heart that agreed said, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Councilman Perry, would you please read the civility pledge?
Civility pledge. The way we govern ourselves is often as important as the positions we take. Our collective decisions will be better when differing views have had the opportunity to be fully vetted and considered. All people have the right to be treated with respect, courtesy, and openness. We value all input. We commit to conduct ourselves at all times with civility and courtesy to each other.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, next item.
The next item, Mayor, is going to be a presentation. This is going to be given by GMA's Freddie Broom. It's a Leadership Development Certificate Program presentation.
Thank you, Mayor, Councilmember, and the community. Freddie Broom from Georgia Municipal Association, and I'm here tonight to present certificates to some of your members who actually recently participated in our Transformation Leadership Certificate Program. We have different tracks, and this city actually participated in the Middle Management Leadership track. And this program was really designed to help individuals understand their leadership who, and we spent a lot of time on that. On the first couple modules is identifying who you are as a leader, because it's hard to lead others when you don't know who you are actually leading them. And so once they learned about their leadership who, they took time in understanding their levels of emotional intelligence. They actually took an emotional intelligence assessment to see the different levels that they are, areas they can improve in. And throughout the next six weeks, we talked about transformational leadership, servant leadership, how to be a situational leader, and then also how to build better relationships. And so as the program was 6 weeks, and then on the last class, and they actually had homework too, and at the last class, they actually had to present their leadership development plan, which was an action plan that they've had to take over the next 12 months of what they're going to do in 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months to improve themselves personally and professionally as a leader, and how they can be better at doing their jobs, what they currently do, and then how they also plan for a future of being leaders for, better leaders for the city of Fairburn, but also for the community and the city itself. So tonight we're here to present them with their certificates of completion, and so we'll call them up now so they can receive their certificates.
Mayor, all of our leaders weren't able to be here this evening. Several are, so we'll call all of the names and then let Mr. Broom present the certificates for those who are here.
Okay.
First, we have David Evans. One of our first responders. Thank you, Chief.
So can you name the departments as you call their name?
Okay. So I don't have the department names on the certificate.
Okay, okay.
Apologize, but I will make sure we get that information to you. Next, we have Raheem Harrell.
Okay, well, we're finding out, we're finding out.
Anthony Jackson.
Please state that they're accepting on their behalf.
You're accepting on their behalf.
Yes, accepting on Mr. Jackson's behalf for the electric division.
And you are?
And I am the electric utility manager.
And your name is? Okay.
Next, we have Stephen Lanford. Thank you, Officer Lanford. Next, we have Jaquila Potts. We have quite a representation from the police department. And next, from our city clerk's office, we have Miss Randy Rainey. Next, we have Sean Selman from the fire department. Next, from our Human Resources Department, Ms. Crystal Starr. From our Information Technology, Charles Trotter. Next, we have Officer Sean Van Loo. Vince Usher. Next, we have Demetrius Valentine. Congratulations. Next, we have Ryan Wakeman. Officer Wakeman. Andrew Williams. And last, by no means least, Eric Womack. He's part of our building and operations division. Thank you, sir. Mayor, lastly, I would just like to additional context. One, thank the mayor and council for the resources to make these types of trainings available for our staff. Two, thank GMA and certainly Freddie Broom, who's conducted several leadership trainings for us. And three, all of the individuals that received this training, I would point to as some of our most dynamic, up-and-coming middle managers who will be leaders as they continue, hopefully, in their careers in Fairburn. So this is a worthwhile investment to continue to make sure that we have the outstanding staff we have today in the future. So congratulations to all of the class participants. They're some of the best we have here in the city of Fairburn. Can all the recipients please come forward? We'd like for you to take a picture, if I can, Mayor, with the council. Is that okay?
Do you want us to come down?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Smile, Randy.
Here we go. Look this way on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he came from right up in there on you.
Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Next item, Mayor, is adoption of the city council agenda.
May I have a motion to adopt the city council agenda as presented?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Parkinson Davis.
Any discussion or comments or changes? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposition? That motion carries. Next item.
The next item is public comments. Mayor, did you want me to read the statement?
Yes, please.
30 minutes will be available for public comments. Each speaker shall be limited to 3 minutes. However, a speaker may transfer his or her 3 minutes to another speaker, but no speaker shall be permitted to speak more than 6 minutes. Further, in the event, if more than 10 speakers desire to speak, each speaker shall be limited to 2 minutes, and no speaker may speak more than 4 minutes. Issues raised at this time are generally referred to the city administrator for review. Responses will be provided later. Mayor, we have 2 public comments, or people signed up.
Okay.
The first one is Ernie Brooks.
Hello again, y'all.
Hello.
Oh,
If I may, thank you. First, I want to thank Ms. Davis and Mr. Perry for leading by example. Both of you have taken a cut in your training budget, and I appreciate that, being a leader with the right thing instead of being hypocritical of saying, this is on the agenda, and, you know, I need more money, more money. But transparency in government requires clarity. For example, some people think that the dump is full, and we've heard that, oh yeah, we got some big plans for the dump. Well, what are they? Oh, we're not ready to share that with you. There's some talk about a grocery store, and it's like, oh yeah, there's a lot of talk, and we're getting a grocery store, but we can't tell you where it is or who it is. But would it be at Milo Fisher and Spence Road, the 8,000 square foot warehouse that's on the 2025 comp plan? The courthouse, the question's been raised. Is it insured? Is it covered by the blight tax? CSX Railroad expansion. It's a time when you go into executive session, please have concessions so you can get a break on the lease for the 2 freight depots and also clean up the gravel and the railroad ties. Already asked about the bank building, what the purpose is. Is the courthouse insured? I think I already asked that. But there's a new question, and it's about fund number 860, fiscal year 25. In the budget was $115,875. In the fiscal year budget 26, there's $7,520,000. Where did that money come from? Or where is it coming from? Fund number 360, T-SPLOS, went from $5,126 and $260. The fiscal year 26, it's $8,496,448 dollars. So can we get a traffic light at 29 and 92? So I'd just like to mention New Beginnings. We've used that for voting, and also we could change that into a community center and have all kinds of functions. And if we're going to copy people like the people that do for Union City, the landscaping, if we're going to use them on this side, and if we've used the people that cut the grass from Tyrone to cut the grass on the medium of 74, let's do what the city of Atlanta does with the graveyard, the cemetery that they have. Oakland, they have book functions. They have, Halloween is a big holiday. We could have some type of function, and also the Day of the Dead. It's not only the Hispanic culture, but there's other cultures, and so there's a lot we could do with the cemetery. Thank you so much.
The next speaker is Ms. Natasha Martin.
Good evening to all.
Good evening. Mhm. Yes, and could you state your full name and address, please?
My name is Natasha Martin. I live at 876 Tall Deer Drive.
Go ahead, I'm sorry. Restart her time, please. Okay.
Okay, do I need to call my name again?
No, we have it for the record. Yes, clerk? Madam Clerk?
Natasha Martin, yes.
Yes, okay, thank you.
Okay, I have,
And please talk into the mic.
okay. I am here to ask and to see what are my rights for putting up a tool shed in my backyard. It's less than 100 square feet. And I was told to get a surveyor. The surveyor that I called, he said, well, you shouldn't have to call a surveyor just to put a less than 100 square foot tool shed in your backyard, because what I'm going to charge you for the survey is over $2,000. So this is my complaint, and I went to the city to ask if I can put a tool shed down because I have my lawnmower parked in my garage, and everything is just cluttered in there. And I just need to move it and have a tool shed where I can park my riding mower, my lawnmower, and my tools for my yard. And I was told to get a surveyor before I can do that. And I thought I read on the city webpage that if you are getting a tool shed and you're trying to put anything down on your yard, if it's less than 100 square foot, you don't need a permit.
I hear you, and I don't know the answer to those questions, but we will follow up.
May I add
Yes, please. Mhm.
is that if the shed is less than 10 feet from the,
In the microphone, please.
it says if the shed is going to be less than 10 feet from the permanent structure, it's going to be over 30 feet away from the home itself. It's on the very back part of the lot. So it won't be within 10 or even 20 feet of the home itself.
Again, I don't know the answer to those questions, but we'll definitely follow up with you regarding that. Okay? All right. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
There's no more speaker.
Okay, next item.
The next item is going to be approval of the minutes for the work session and city council minutes of July 27, 2026, and budget workshop training minutes of July 29, 2026.
Members of council, you've received the minutes of the work session and council meetings of July 27th and the budget workshop training minutes of July 29th, 2026. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposition? That motion carries. Next item.
The next item is going to be the public hearing part. Number 3 is going to be 5575 Milam Road, a use permit for a child day care. The recommendation is for mayor and council approve an ordinance authorizing the use permit subject to the following condition. The applicant shall apply with their supplemental regulations governing child daycare centers set forth in the zoning ordinance, Chapter 80, zoning, Article 4, administrative permits and use permits, Section 80-208, Child Daycare Center, Planning and Zoning.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The item before you is a use permit for a daycare facility. The applicant has provided a site plan. The site is located at 5575 Milam Road, the northeast corner of the intersection of Milam and Plantation Road. Site is currently zoned office and institutional and totals 1.64 acres. The applicant has requested approval for a child daycare facility. They've provided an accurate and up-to-date survey. They conducted a public participation report and meeting on January 5th. They mentioned that 5 people were in attendance, and they stated that there were no concerns that were raised during that meeting. I believe the site was previously used as a home office, and now the applicant is asking to reconfigure the site for a daycare facility. The survey for the property shows a significant amount of depth. The Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend approval, but they did, however, have concerns regarding just the number of students or folks being dropped off because of the traffic issues that are in the area, especially with the school being right across the street. And we can certainly work through that with our traffic engineers. There was also a concern regarding, because it's a daycare facility, there's a tendency to want to use brighter colors. This is at the entrance of a subdivision, so there are homes right behind it. So we do have a recommended condition for that. When we're looking at a use permit, we have to look at compliance with the comprehensive plan, compatibility with the surrounding uses, compliance with local state regulations, the effect on traffic flow, off-street parking, open space, screening, hours of operation, outdoor lighting, and how do you enter and exit the site. So with regard to traffic, at this time, there's no request for a traffic impact study. There is sufficient space for the daycare facility to have an outdoor area for the kids. There are no concerns related to lighting or screening. And we also wanted to notify you that along with the use permit conditions, child daycare already has conditions that are a part of the city ordinance. And so those are provided to you right there. So we're recommending that those conditions be continued, but we're also recommending the condition concerning just making sure that the colors are more neutral in nature because it's at the entrance of a subdivision. And the applicant can give you more details regarding the times of operation, when they plan on having students there. In terms of the capacity, that was also one of the issues. The Planning and Zoning Commission was concerned about the total square footage of the house and how many kids would be permitted. And of course, those are items that you get into a little bit later in the process when the fire marshal has an opportunity along with the building official. And then because it is a daycare facility, there are other state agencies that would also be a part of that review. So I did want to, be transparent about some of those concerns, even though the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval.
Okay.
And this is an item that does require a public hearing, but I'm available to answer any questions.
Okay. We must call a vote on, yes, public hearing. All right. Yes, so may I have a motion to open the public hearing for 5575 Milam Road use permit child daycare?
So moved.
Second. Okay, so moved by Councilwoman Benson, second by Councilwoman Davis. Is there anyone who want to speak in support of the daycare? Yes, please. Mhm.
Good evening. Evening.
I'm Angela Rosser. I am the applicant, trying to convert the home into a daycare. I have a current location right off 74. I'm sure you guys probably passed by it, heading towards Publix. It's the yellow house that sits right off 74. We've been there since 2007, and that's kind of our staple color. I would prefer, if, you grant me some grace, to have some yellow in the home. It's not a canary yellow. It's not a bright yellow where it's blinding, where you can't drive, or it just, distracts you from driving or anything like that. But it's just something that the kids look forward to. It's something that they see when they get out the car first thing in the morning. Is happy for them. It makes them happy. Neutral colors to me is more for an adult. It's more for a business that's geared to adult people. And I think having some kind of brightness, not bright where it's like, I got to pass by this car, by this house, and I don't want to see this color. It's not that, not like a neon yellow. It's something that can blend in. Green and yellow is the colors that we use, but my baby's just like the colors. It's something that my older kids, my oldest, very first child since 2007, he just turned 20, and they come back, and I don't want to take away from that color, and I move, and we're not known anymore because that's our staple, that yellow. So we have referrals. We don't have a sign in front because most of my parents, once they leave, they always say, just go to the yellow house on 74. So that's what we're known for. And also, as far as the traffic, parents drop off between 7 and 9, and it's quick. I mean, you'd be surprised how fast they drop the kids off. I can't even get them to sign in sometimes. It's like they throw them in and they're gone. And so we will make sure that they have adequate ways to get in and go out the opposite way they came in. And we will work on the traffic because we do that at our current location as well. And let me see what else. And as far as the capacity, we do, once we get in and once we're able to change some things and open things up, we do have to follow the right from the start regulations as far as the right amount of square footage per child. So you won't have any kind of issue with overcrowding because we can't open unless right from the start approves it as well. So you don't have to worry about that. But other than that, I think it would be a great addition. I have a waiting list as is, already. And, we're just waiting to get started and hopefully be a good addition to Fairburn and make you guys proud and make you be known for, if not all of the Yellow House on 55 Milam, but at least some of the Yellow House on 55 Milam. But I just thank you for giving me a chance to say my piece, and God bless you all, and hope the pillars are part of your consideration.
Anyone else speak in support? Okay. Is there anyone in opposition? All right, may I have a motion I close the public hearing before discussion, correct? Okay, may I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Okay, motion by Councilman, Mayor Pro Tem Smallwood, and second by Councilwoman Davis. All right, discussion? Yes, okay, I saw her earlier, and then you, Mayor Pro Tem. All right, Councilwoman Davis?
Yes, Ms. Brookins, this question is for you. I see daycare center, but I also see a name, Tree Life Christian Academy, which gives me the idea that that's a school. So is it a school or is it a daycare center, or is there a difference between that? I'm seeing the two names.
It's a daycare center.
It's a daycare center.
Mm-hmm.
That's called an academy? Yeah. Okay. Oh. Okay, okay.
All right. Any other question? Okay. Mayor Pro Tem Smallwood?
Well, that kind of clarified my question, but I have a couple. So it did.
For the applicant?
Well, I guess whoever, so you're moving from the present location to this location? Yes. Okay, okay. And I guess I had a question about the age ranges too. So you said up to 5.
It's right from the start, it's 6 weeks to 12 years of age.
So-
But I teach up to 5 years.
Oh, okay. So how many students do you have currently? At 8? Okay. So is this, so this will be pre-K then as well then
We
too?
do private pre-K.
Okay.
Yeah, we stick with private because we're able to offer a curriculum for the children versus just,
Into the mic, please. Mhm.
we're able to offer a curriculum for the children instead of just learn through play. We're able to really teach them. So, that's my pet peeve. It's just me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in pre-K for years, so that's why.
Yeah,
I asked.
it's just me.
Yeah.
And
When I heard Bright from the start.
Yeah, it's just me because most of our kids lack in reading and math. So I jumpstart them and get them ready for kindergarten so they won't have any issues once they enter school. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Councilwoman Nichols?
Yes, hi. I think it's for both of you all probably. I have a few questions. So you said you're only going to have 8,
Yes, ma'am.
and is that, I'm just curious, is that just because of the ratio of the staff or the?
No, it's just we're not in Fairburn, we're in Fayette. That's
Yeah.
what we're allowed in Fayette.
Okay,
And I just stayed this way because I'm a mother of 4 as well.
Mm-hmm.
So my last baby graduated, and not my last baby, but I have 3 older children, and I have a younger child who's 15. Now he's old enough to be able to. He's homeschooled as well, so he's old enough to be able to hold his own, work independently without mama, and so now I can be able to, go ahead and expand, which was my dream. But I had to put it on hold because I, had to put my kids first.
so you only want 8? Is that what we're saying is the
No,
capacity? And
this school will be more.
Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
what is going to be the total new school?
Well, right now, before, with the
What is our
measurements that the general contractor gave me, is for 40.
40,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am. But we won't know the exact
Right,
amount.
but that's the capacity.
Right,
Okay,
right.
and then,
'Cause it may be less than 40. We're not sure until we get in to make the proper improvements.
and then 8 parking spots is enough?
Well, it's like a turnaround kind of thing where you go in, because we'll be out assisting parents as they come in, and then we have a handicap spot that's going to be on the main side of Milam, and then Plantation will be where most of the parents park. It's just kind of hard to see it on that site plan, but once we clear all the debris and stuff out and really clear that driveway out, it'll be more adequate parking for the parents, those who want to get out and those who want to just drop off.
Okay.
'Cause
And
we'll
then-
be out assisting.
Okay. And then, I think I read something about a new curb. gutter.
We have to do curbing, we have to, we were told that we have to do sidewalk and
That's what
curb
public.
gutter.
Okay,
Yes,
and is
ma'am.
that already completed, or that's?
No, ma'am,
gonna
we
be
can't
done?
do anything until we get the
So-
use permit. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and
Yes,
then, I just also, maybe with staff, I just want to confirm that the parking and traffic circulation, we think is adequate for that area.
I would say, depending on the capacity, there are some concerns, but I would say when we actually get the final concept plan and working with our traffic engineers, we can better answer that question. Because I think in that area in general, there are some improvements that are pending with some of the developments. So that would ease that. But yes, there are still concerns with just the general management of drop-off times and things of that nature, especially because of the school being right across. And then in the next, 6 months to a year, there's going to be additional traffic in that area. So I don't want to say with 100% certainty that we have no concerns regarding traffic management at this point, but I can assure you that the traffic engineers will be a part of the concept plan review to make sure that if there are other modifications that are required, that we can do that before the applicant is allowed to open the business.
And that will come before council?
No, typically, if they have to do any additional items related to like the building plan or concept plan, that's completed by staff.
Got it. And then what's the color? Can you revisit?
So that was one of the concerns that Planning and Zoning Commissioner made because they live in the area. And it is the entrance to a subdivision. So we have a recommended condition that specifically states that due to the proximity of the proposed child daycare center to the adjacent residential properties, all exterior building surfaces, including siding, trimming, accent materials, shall be finished in neutral colors, beige, tan, gray, or muted earth tones that are compatible and non-disruptive to the surrounding residential character of the neighborhood. Bright, bold, or primary colors are prohibited except that the limited accent colors may be permitted on the entrance or the sign not to exceed 10% of any building elevation. So there is some leniency, but we did want to just kind of be aware that there is a residential community that's right at the entrance. And we've had applications before, and we just want to make sure that we are keeping in mind that there are homes right behind it.
Right, so the yellow that is in the existing location wouldn't suffice?
It would be
for this one?
limited. It would be
Limited.
not
What
to exceed
about
10%.
What about art? Because I understand it's a daycare, we want something. Is anything in there that says anything about art?
No, nothing
On
about
the-
the art.
I mean, like art on the building?
No, typically no.
That's
You
not-
can have
okay.
art on the building.
Okay.
No, you can't have art on the building.
So I'm thinking maybe within that in that line, we should add something regarding art, because if we're gonna limit this yellow or a color to a beige, maybe they could add a mural, something to just, just to make it that the children can identify it, and if that's acceptable, I mean, I'm looking to you, Denise,
Yes, so we
to
can,
your
add-
recommendation, but I'm just thinking like maybe we could compromise if that yellow is not working, we can think of something else to make it more kid-friendly and welcoming.
Got you. So we can add to the last sentence, bright and bold colors prohibited except for the limited accent colors may be permitted at the entranceway or signage not to exceed 10% of any building elevation subject to approval by city staff. Artwork is exempt.
Okay.
A way they can add some artwork to it if it complies with the signage.
Right, if it complies, yes. Okay. That's all, thank you.
Okay.
No, it's a suggestion.
If I just may follow up on that line of questioning, I wanted to ask about so you're expanding, correct? And then, so what's your requirement for staff-to-child ratio? Because the babies have a higher ratio.
Right, 6 to
than-
1.
Okay, 6 to 1?
Yes, ma'am.
And then, so do you have a capacity for the babies versus the toddlers versus
Yes,
the
yes,
older
yes,
kids?
ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so given that staffing ratios that you're going to need, where are your workers going to park?
If you look at the driveway, it's not the driveway that the parents are parking on the lower end, but it's the driveway right in front. It's a sideway where the teachers are parked, right on the side.
So you will have adequate
Yes,
parking
ma'am.
then?
Yes, ma'am. They won't park where the parents park, no,
Oh,
ma'am.
okay,
Yes,
all
ma'am.
right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Councilwoman Hauser?
Yes, is it okay for the building to be surrounded by so many trees, or,
No,
that's what I'm looking at?
Yes, ma'am, those bushes, it's a lot of bushes. No one's been in that property for a while, so we'll have to go in and just clean up. It would be a lot of clearing of the bushes. It's a lot of bushes. Hedges, yes, ma'am.
I see that.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it's a lot of hiding spots, yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm looking
yes,
at.
ma'am.
Councilwoman Benson?
My questions have been asked.
Is this, okay. Anyone else? Okay. All right. No further discussion, yes. Ms. Brookins?
Councilwoman Nichols, I just want to make sure that the recommended condition, that I'm capturing that correctly, approval with that condition with artwork being exempt as long as it complies with the city signage requirements.
Right.
Okay.
So does that mean,
Sorry, I was gonna say, and everything else. I know you said where it's entering into a subdivision, so we want to be mindful of that as well. So I don't know what that means when it comes to getting maybe, I don't know, if we need their input, or it's because we already have this provision of what we have as our standard?
Well, the applicant was required to have a community meeting prior to even having the Planning and Zoning Commission or this public hearing. And we also sent out notifications to the surrounding area so that members of the general public were aware that this is, coming up.
Well, yeah, I think as long as like, and if Denise staff and you all, it's a part of what you all approve and it fits city standards, I just wanted to give the opportunity to have some creativity on the building. If we're like, the yellow is not working, what else can we do? So that was just more of my suggestion and feedback for an addition.
The applicant wants to say something.
We had the public meeting, and we didn't have any complaints.
Opposition,
No opposition as far as the signage, or, or the colors, or anything like that, but, and it's on the main, it's right on Milam, right across from the Bedford School, so it's not in front of a subdivision.
It's the entrance.
You know what I'm saying? You have to go on down, and then the subdivision's right there, and then you have to go inside. We're on the back end of each subdivision. You got one behind me, and then you have one on the side, but we're facing that backyard, not in front. So, if you have to put a mural up, how can you do that without colors? You know what I'm saying? If you have to do something, how can you do it without
Well, the mural might have a
colors?
color, just the base of the whole building. Be a
Right,
neutral color.
right. But what I'm saying, yeah, but what I'm saying, they're opposing colors. Primary, that's children. So how can you get around primary colors if that's what children resonate with?
Right.
So, it's not adults. We're trying to appease an adult, but we're trying to, like we said, we have to, the pillars, you got to think of others. And the children is what we work for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I want them to have something, just like if you would go somewhere, you go to a fancy restaurant or a fancy something, you want that to show when you walk through the doors. So I want that, my center, to show for them when they walk through the doors, and not something bland and neutral like they're going to the doctor's office. Because it's going to make them feel like, okay, now I got to go to school. I don't want to go in here. You know what I mean? But if you make it happy, they're happy. And if they're happy, they're learning.
Yeah.
So that's my goal.
I would add that, so I have a 3-year-old in daycare, and soon as we walk in, it's welcoming. So I think there's ways to just not just the actual building itself.
Right. But I'm saying colors,
But
yeah.
yes, and I mean, as soon as you walk in,
Yeah.
you can add all the colors in the inside. What
Right.
I think our staff is trying to say is to be in line with city rules and policies. You want to make sure the base color, the overall color is
I got
not
that.
going to
It's
stand out.
right.
So what I was thinking is more if you add some type of visual, it wouldn't be the whole thing, or just add something so you can have some of that visibility for the small children, but not like taking up the whole, now the whole building is one yellow bird or
Right,
something.
right. So what
So I
about-
think it's trying to
Yeah.
meet in the middle of, yes,
So-
giving you creativity, but
Or you can
also
put maybe statues, some kind of statues or something in the yard? You can do that?
Yes, that's what I'm
Okay,
thinking.
okay,
Like, just
okay.
trying to think outside the
Okay,
box.
yes,
but
ma'am.
Still meet in the middle
Yes,
of
ma'am.
like
Okay.
what the kids will need, but also
Yeah.
to make sure that residents in that area
Yeah.
are just, everything's on brand in a sense.
Right. Okay. Sounds good.
All right, any other questions or comments or discussion? All right, then we call for a vote. So, may I have a motion?
Mayor,
Yes?
we need to,
Well, I just want to be clear, the will of council in terms of the language
the
you're
outward, yeah.
suggesting about this condition in relation to the color. Do you want to add what you talked about earlier about artwork allowed on the building or mural allowed on the building, or how do you want to? Because the sign ordinance does regulate what the applicant can do on the exterior. You don't necessarily have to add that.
Okay.
Denise, I don't know if
So we do have a sign regulations, and we also have an art advisory council that can work with this applicant or anyone else who, wants to add a little bit more art. So there are definitely ways to meet in the middle.
And so we can accomplish that without having
Without
to
changing, okay.
amend the second condition.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was an option. So if it's an option and it's a part of it, then we don't need to amend it and we could, move forward. But yes, that works for me.
Okay. So I can call for a vote?
Yes.
Okay. A motion, yes. May I have a motion to approve the use permit for childcare at 5575 Mylan Road?
So,
So moved.
Second?
second.
Okay, moved by Councilman Perry, second by Councilwoman Benson. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposition? That motion carries. Next item.
The next item is item number 4, Nehemiah Project 115 Sonoya Road, request for rezoning in 3 concurrent variances. The recommendation, staff recommends approval of the rezoning request, subject to the enclosed conditions. The application materials do not provide sufficient justification to support the required.
Excuse me. Yes, Chief, please. Okay. All right, thank you.
Sorry. The recommendation, staff recommends approval of the rezoning request, subject to the enclosed conditions. The application materials do not provide sufficient justification to support the required findings for granting the requested variances. Therefore, staff recommends denial of the concurrent variance request. Planning and zoning.
Hi, hello again. So, we have back-to-back items. So the applicant has requested to have this item continued until the next meeting, but we did advertise, so we want to go through the process of presenting the staff report, allowing the applicant to speak, and open the public hearing because it has been advertised. We put signs on the property and all that, but the applicant has asked that it be continued. And then they have a great deal more of details to provide to you as well.
Okay,
So I'll go ahead and start with the staff report, if that's okay.
please.
So the item before you is a request to rezone the property from R3 Single Family Residential to RCT Residential Condominium Townhome District. The applicant is requesting approval to develop 8 townhome sites with 3 concurrent variants. The first variance is to reduce the minimum floor area from 1,200 to 1,000 square feet, to reduce the minimum number of garage spaces per dwelling unit from 1 to 0, and to reduce the minimum brick or stone requirement for exterior building facade from 25% to 0%. So this is the location of the property. The applicant, of course, is again asking to rezone that property. This property has taken a while. So the applicant worked with staff to really kind of go over the elevations, to go over the concept plan. And when we talk about things like missing middle and trying to do attainable housing, this is an example. So this was the original. The applicant had the original concept plan, and because of the location and just the site limitations, we did recommend that they maybe have that showing on the street as opposed to having the parking in the middle. So the applicant did modify the concept plan. They provided a survey, and so you can kind of see where they're proposing to locate it. They also improved the elevations. Of course, that is not all brick. And one of the things that the applicant has mentioned is that in this instance, they were trying to make sure that this would be a product that someone who is a first responder or a teacher or someone could be able to own a home in the city of Fairburn. So I do want to be very transparent about the intention behind it. So that is another elevation that the applicant provided. They also have green space that they incorporated as a part of the development. They have provided elevations in terms of the symmetry and just general designs. It does fit the character. And in the general area, there are higher density developments. So in terms of just the zoning conditions and standards for rezoning, we didn't necessarily have an issue with the suitability of the proposed use. It does comply with the comprehensive plan, and we did not view it as being detrimental to the surrounding areas. The property, as currently zoned, it previously had a house, but they are proposing to do the townhome development. And because of the density, we don't think that there would be a traffic issue. They did host a public meeting, a community meeting. I believe there was one person in attendance, and Their issue wasn't anything related to the application. They actually were in favor of it. And I believe there was another resident who came for just a moment and was also in favor of the application. So we haven't received any opposition to the request. So we are recommending approval of the rezoning with the conditions that were provided, such as the single-family attached residential units at a density of no greater than 11 units per, or 8 units, whichever's less. Building height of 4 stories. The common outdoor area shall be a minimum of 20%. We have the front, side, and rear setbacks, which would comply, and the applicant's concept plan does comply with that. And any significant modifications to the items that presented, the applicant would have to go for further review by the Planning and Zoning Commission. So the other conditions, no building or structure shall contain more than 4 dwelling units. 1 car garage shall be provided for single-family attached. Upgraded garage doors must feature architectural elements such as carriage styles. Those are the things that you look for. The facade of each dwelling shall be a combination of wood, brick, stone. The brick stone shall not comprise no less than 25% of the exterior finished material. The primary entrance shall be visible, emphasized, and accessible from the street. Entrances that do not face the street shall have a pedestrian path that connects directly to a street, sidewalk, or courtyard, and the primary entrance shall not overlook a designated parking area. Where multiple exterior materials are used on a building, they shall be combined on each face horizontally with the heavier material below the lighter material. The rear and side facade shall be the same construction materials and the same exterior finish and exterior color. There shall be no long, inarticulate roofs or walls. They have to have fenestration, which is complementary, meaning windows and things of that nature. Minimum 9-foot-high ceilings, excluding downs for HVAC and plumbing and things of that nature. Property maintenance shall be accompanied through a homeowners association or townhome association in which membership shall be mandatory. Such maintenance shall encompass all individual lots, common areas that are not contained within the boundaries of the individual lots.
Okay, could you go back? What is what is that word, fenestration?
Administration, so making sure that there are nice windows. That's one of the things that we tend to overlook, especially with residential developments. And I think with the elevations that they're providing, they've been able to more than meet that. But sometimes, you know, if the elevation changes between now, we just want to make sure that those designs, or at least the intent of what's presented, is still what is maintained.
Ma'am, I got a question.
So we have a lot of conditions on there, especially related to site development. There must be the amenity package, which includes the picnic area. Under no circumstances can any of the mechanical equipment be visible, meaning if there's an HVAC, we want some bushes or trees so that as you're walking out, you don't see that. Parking has to be paved. And so we tried to make sure that although it is a different kind of development than that's generally been built in Fairburn, it is a new development, and it would be beneficial. We do want to kind of speak to the conditions. Because of what the applicant was asking for, they did satisfy the condition concerning relief within harmony of the general purpose, because it does align with the comprehensive plan. But there were no extraordinary conditions because the applicant could comply with the requirements in terms of the garage, in terms of the material, and in terms of the number of parking spaces. It's just because they're trying to do a different kind of development. And I'll let them explain that to you, but because that text is not currently in our ordinance, we could not support the variance. Not that we don't think the project is good, and the applicant can certainly give you more context about their request. So we are recommending approval of the rezoning, but we are recommending, we can't support the variance at this stance.
Okay. Let's call for the public hearing. Just note your questions, please. May I have a motion to open the public hearing for Nehemiah Project 115 Sonoria Road, request for rezoning and 3 concurrent variances?
So moved.
Second. Motion by Councilwoman Benson, second by Councilwoman Davis. Is there anyone who wants to speak in support of this request?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Madam Mayor and Council. Oh, that's it. Where'd you get that from? You're always so quick. Oh, my gosh. We ran all the way to the daycare to try to get it done, and we already got it. Thank you so much. Thank you for...
If you introduce yourself, please.
I'm sorry. I'm Ingrid Thompson. I am the developer for the project Sonoya Point at 115 Sonoya Road. The address, again, is 115 Sonoya Road. I wanted to come and just, can I put this right here?
It's the same as on the screen.
Is that the oh, no.
Oh, a joke. Oh, okay, okay. You forgot the tape.
Yeah. Okay, great.
But I just wanted to not take up a whole lot of your time because we have been meeting with our council, with our board, and some other people that are involved in this project. And the decision for the continuance is because there's some things that just we need to get settled to make sure that it's feasible to move forward with this project. And I just wanted to go through this presentation very, very quickly. We are requesting for this project, which is zoned now at R3. We originally, as Director Brookins mentioned, that we have been going through a long process with this where we started out being recommended for RM12. So all of our designs, our site work, our renderings that we got developed was based on RM12. That was what was recommended to us. And so as we got further into the process, that first rendering that you saw with the blue on it, that was the first one. It was 4 units in that one building. And then as we proceeded on, there was conversation about the look of the building, that might have been too modern. So we went back to our architect to be able to give a rendering that would be sufficient. We didn't consider the brick. The siding is, our architect isn't here today, he was here last week. That siding there is not just cheap siding. It's one of the most expensive sidings that there are. It's way more than brick and all that, but I told him, we can't do that, we're doing brick. So we're in agreement with the brick front. However, we want to continue this because we want to look further into RM12. Again, we were recommended RCT, and with RCT actually allows us, and we just kind of went with the recommendation to be able to have this townhome, and it has some other stipulations with it, but we were requested to do the variances, so we did. With the variance, we did 3 different variances, as you see here. The first one was to decrease our project from, well, the variance calls for, the zoning calls for 1,200 square feet. It calls for a 1-car garage, and it calls for the brick. And so when we put in our variances, we knew how much this project cost. And honestly, and I'm not supposed to even be talking about costs, when we sent this out to bid, it was literally $317 a square foot. There's nothing in Fairburn that costs that much. It was way too much for the intent of our project, but we sent it out to another bidder, $273. And I was like, you know what? We cannot do this. However, we can make this more attainable with the same outside or similar and still bring that cost down that it's affordable. Now, our intent is to be able to provide workforce housing. We're not building a project. We're not putting up any cheap, shabby townhomes. We are going by the comprehensive plan that says that we are looking for attainable housing. We are looking for multiple housing for different ages, for different incomes. And so this thing of, how it's going to look, we're going to put brick on that. It's just something that we want to be able to reconsider. We've got to go now to make it more feasible, to be able to add on to this project an additional $300,000 just because of a garage. And it's in now the central downtown location. It's contrary to what the plan says. We have gone through the plan line upon line, and we need a little bit more time because we don't want to do anything that's contrary to what the city of Fairburn wants. We're here, we're game players. We've been here for 28 years, working in this city, being able to provide for the needs of the people, and now there is a considerable need for housing. And it's not housing for people coming out of the projects. It's not housing for people that work in the McDonald's and all these places. This is housing for people that work in Fairburn. Fairburn. If you make you got to make at least $66,000 a year to be able to afford that. That's 80% area median income. We are not trying to build anything that's going to bring Fairburn down. That's discrimination in the first place. We shouldn't even be thinking like that. But we are trying to give a good product because our desire is to build housing for seniors, quality, accessible housing. And so when we look at this plan, we just want to be able to ask the council to please consider, and we'll come back and talk more about making sure that we are in alignment with the comprehension plan. I gave everyone just a brief outlay. I kind of like to study and make sure that we're in alignment, and I saw a lot of discrepancy, though that's why we need to come back. But if you want to look at this sheet that I put before you, it is just a line upon line about the comprehension plan. I put the page numbers on there so that you can see where we got our references from. I put where it can be found. And so when we go through this, I just want to keep that in mind so when the next time we meet, you'll have this. I don't have time to go through all this. I know I have a limited time. But with the presentation, that is Sonoya Point. That's the old rendering with the parking in the front. We're just asking for the garage. That whole part of the garage is going to make this unaccessible. For someone making $66,000 to $100,000 a year, if you add an additional $20,000, $30,000, up to $50,000 for a garage, it's going to jack the cost up, and it defeats our mission and our purpose for this project. Under RM12, there was no stipulation for a garage. It was for townhomes, it was for sale, and for rent. Again, this is a for-sale project. We're not renting these. Under RM12, we also learned that this project would fit because the minimum heated square space is 700. So that's why we were all in. And when we were called and said that's not going to work for your project, we were like, hey, what will work? And so RCT was given to us. And so we just ran with that because we thought that with the variances that we would probably have a little bit of leniency. And so I'm here to say that we're not trying to fight against what the rules are. The brick is wonderful. We will redo this and make it brick. We will probably have to scale back on some of the glass to get the 25% brick in. But we are asking if you would reconsider the garage because in our last plan under RM12, you just had to have 2 parking spaces per house. We have now 14 spaces on our plan with 2 ADA spaces that are there. We also have a parking lot that's adjacent that these tenants, not tenants, but the people who own the homes, if they have company, you know, they have the whole family over, it's 10 people. We have parking that's right adjacent to them so they won't have to park on the streets. And so again, I'm not gonna delay the time, but I do want to bring out just a couple of points with the slide. You can tell me to stop when I'm out of time.
I believe you have 30 minutes, actually.
Ooh.
22
okay.
left.
And so if we could go through the slide, because I can go on a rabbit trail. The council action requested again is to approve the rezoning, of course, from to RCT. And when we come back, we'll talk about whether we want to go back to RM12. That's the issue at hand. And then to revise the conditions as the product, so the product can stay attainable. Again, the prices for these are still under review with the changes that we have to make, but people who, just one person has to make at least $66,000. That's your teacher, that's your firefighter, that's your police officer, that's the people that work for the city, that's your nurses. They don't deserve good housing?
Yes, they do.
Absolutely.
We're doing 8 owner-occupied townhomes on 0.72 acres. Consequently, the staff's recommendation and the central neighborhood designation. The central neighborhood designation does identify those 2, RM12 and RCT. With those 2, the 0.72 acres would accommodate 8 to 12 on 1 acre. So we're right beneath and in line with that at 0.72 acres. Keeping 1,000 square feet, we have seen from College Park to Union City, of course, all in Atlanta. I said Palmetto, but it's really like Chattahoochee. Everything that way I say is Palmetto, but it's Chattahoochee Hills. And they're developing smaller units to fit the needs of first-time homeowners. The prices of housing has gone up tremendously. In order for them to attain quality housing, being able to scale it down a little bit. People are buying these tiny homes left and right in College Park and Union City, and they are spending $260, $270. It was like close to $220 when they first got started, but they are buying them because it's attainable for them. We're not trying to do a tiny house. We're just trying to make it a little bit more compact so it'll be comfortable for 1 or 2 people, even 3 people, with what we're trying to do. And so we're asking, and we're okay if we have to keep the 200 square feet, but it will make it more attainable for those that are trying to purchase. Again, number 3, the removal of the garages. I'm not sure if that's back up. We want to amend the RCT condition to allow common paved parking, as we have did all of our planning. All of that we've done, and nobody ever said anything. All the departments that has gone through, and now we're, hit with having to do a garage. When you look at our plan, you really can't see where a garage can fit unless you take it up to 3 stories. And that's not really what we want to do. Our goal really is to make it attainable. Okay, attainable for my teachers, my director, who's in the 60s, making that amount. And I want to be clear that this is not a senior development. We plan to do senior development. We have served seniors for the last 10 years. Over $10 million we've put into senior homes to keep them affordable, to keep them remaining in their home. And so, of course, we want to build for them in that way. But right now, this is for workforce development, and any senior who would like to downsize and don't mind the steps. I got some 85-year-olds in my church, they can go run circles around you. And I'm like, you're the one that can move over here. So it's for everybody that, so that we can make it accessible for them. So I did want to make that clear. Also, our staff findings, which Director Brookins went over for suitable use. And at the bottom, if you'll look at the bottom of your pages that I gave you, you'll see the reference to the compensation plan. But you see right here where we're located. We're located in an R3 district, but it is now, and we're really excited about it. It wasn't shortly ago. It wasn't in the central neighborhood. So now that it is, we want to make sure that we're in compliance with the comprehension plan. So we see that the suitable use, townhomes fit nearby mixed use within less than a mile. There's a positive impact. Staff says that the proposal will provide workforce housing, which is true. There's no undue burden, no excessive burden on streets, transportation, utilities, and schools. We've gotten all of that passed, which should be in the notes, and we have letters of recommendation for that. And then plan conformity, townhomes, RCT use is appropriate in central neighborhoods. So if we keep it that, then it's okay for that area, but we're just asking if you would really consider giving us a variance for that. And then economic use. Current R3 zoning does not appear to provide reasonable economic use. Those are all the things that we're in alignment with. So staff approved land use case. The variance relief is needed so the approved land use can actually be delivered as workforce homeownership. Workforce is not just for people to make $60,000 either. Workforce in the time that we're building now is for people to make upwards of $100,000. And so I need you all to see it in that way, that we're not just serving, people that make, $20,000, $30,000 a year. The comprehensive plan places its product here, another map that is showing the central neighborhood policies are that we are to support a range of residential types near downtown. I wonder why that's not moving. Because I have the key here, okay. Thank you, sir. There we go. Okay, my apologies. So you see the map that's here. It shows the downtown overlay, and so some of the central neighborhood policies that are in the comprehension plan mention supports a range of residential types near downtown, focuses on walkability, housing, diversity, and neighborhood scale infill. It encourages incremental density while keeping historic neighborhood character. And then it lists townhouses as an appropriate development type for the area that we're located in. It also lists both RCT and RM12 as appropriate zoning districts. So again, I don't want to keep hashing the same thing over. That's what we need to go back to see if we want to change it back to RM12. I promise you, I'm pushing this thing the way it's supposed to go. Okay, and then the next slide, the variance that we are considering, RCT, aligning better with the plan. We talked about that. RCT requires you to have 1,200 square feet. RM12 is 700. And so I won't rehash that again, but on pages 289 to 292, it speaks to this in the comp plan. And so the plan's fix for this states that we should remove minimum dwelling size requirements. We should allow a fuller range of housing options. We should use reduced dimensional standards to incentivize smaller housing types. And we should support direct pedestrian connections and walkable infill. I love where we're located. I love that for those that don't have a car, the bus stop is right there. You can walk to the library. And if a senior by chance wants to live there, she can walk or he can walk to the senior center. And so it's strategically located and is right in the midst of what is supposed to happen or you all are trying to make happen through the comprehensive plan. And honestly, I don't think we have to wait for a rewrite to be able to approve the small variances that we're asking to be considered. The next one is a hardship. We put in our plan, when I wrote the information and submitted it, I just did it really quickly because they said you needed to do it, and we just did it. And cost is always a factor in trying to make sure that we are providing this project to be accessible. So when you look at our project, this is the visibility of our real hardship, not just it's gonna cost more to make it less attainable. However, when you look at the shape of this project, that is one of the other things that should be considered. And if we would have known better, we would have been more detailed. And so I'm just presenting this to you that a small triangular infill site, which indeed fits RCT because it's 0.72 acres and it's only 8 townhomes, it is very difficult for us to go back when you look at that site and you put you put garages on them, and then you gotta have the parking spaces too. There's no more room. Look at how much green space you have. I mean, how many people have green space in these apartments that you're making?
Right.
Not many. And so, not you all, I'm just saying apartments, period. You don't see many townhomes being built, but there's green space here on here. It was intentional to do that. And if we put garages on there, it would cause the plan to be not a part of what we intend for it. And so we're, again, asking that on this tapered lot, where there's 3 edges, it's a whole street that goes around it, there's a stormwater pond, that you would please consider that as a hardship for the garages. I want to really look at this. This is the cost. Hardship becomes an affordability hardship. Someone said you cannot bring up costs in these meetings, but when you look at what we're trying to do and the impact that it will make on first-time homeowners beginning to build wealth for their families, you have to talk about cost, because we can't make it affordable for them if it costs too much. Give them an opportunity to be able to be a homeowner and be able to pass this down from generation to generation. I added 200 square feet, will be 1,600 square feet additional at $150 to $225 a square foot. That's a total of $240,000 to $360,000 that we lose out on in passing those dollars on to someone that can afford this without a garage. The garage condition adds structures, doors, slab drives, width and depth, which is all good. I love garages. But for a small 2-bedroom, first-time buyer, a garage is not an amenity upgrade. It becomes a mandatory cost layer that pushes pricing beyond the mission. When you look at these prices over here, Fairburn affordability context, I got this out the comp plan. The plan reports average Fairburn for-sale two-bedroom housing costs $321,833. For a two-person household, 80% AMI affordability is about $246,754. That's on page 64. 100% AMI is about $308,443. Variance, protects the gap between new home and attainable home. It's not much difference, but it is a difference that makes a difference in somebody's life. I think I'm going to stop there. Any questions?
Okay, we will hold the questions because we're still in the hearing. Now we will hear from anyone that's in opposition to the project, to the request. No opposition? Okay. Then may I have a motion to close the public hearing, please?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been motioned by Councilwoman Davis and second by Councilman Perry to close the public hearing. Now we're open for discussion. Council? Anyone? Yes? Did you have a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just curious to know.
Councilwoman Nichols? Mhm.
Yes, is it a two-bedroom? How many bath? I didn't.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
It's a two-bedroom, 1.5 bath. We have two plans.
Okay.
The first plan was two-bedroom, two-bath.
Okay.
So there's room for flexibility there.
And I really like this concept, and I do think that this type of housing is needed and aligns with what we're doing here in Fairburn. We were at a conference, the National League of Cities, and we was in Birmingham, and we were seeing different concepts of like smaller homes, so I really love this idea. But I had another question around, so you want to keep it at the RCT, but you want the variance of just no garage and $1,000
Square feet, just
That's
reduce,
the- okay.
1,200 square feet is a requirement. We just
We
wanted to
wanted
reduce it to
okay.
1,000 because it just changes all the work that
Right.
we put
I
in.
just wanted to make sure I understood what the request was. So we're gonna do the brick, so we're gonna do the brick, we're gonna add that, but the other two is the 1,000 square feet and then the garage.
Correct. And again, that's based on the RM12 that we originally started with and planned everything around. And so
Yeah.
that's why we want to keep it that way if possible.
And then my other question was around affordability. Will we have like any preference to, I like, having teachers or, because, everyone, the word affordability is thrown out there a lot. So
Yeah,
I'm
and-
not saying you have to define it, but will there be preferences, like if you are a Fairburn worker, or like, are we gonna define that, or just by like with the AMI?
So it's the AMI.
Okay.
Our preference is that it'll be Fairburn residents or Fairburn people who want to move to Fairburn. We can't, determine who can buy. That's against housing
Yeah.
rules. But 80% AMI is the minimum,
no,
and you
that's-
have to
no,
make,
I
that's
think you
66,000. But if you
Yeah.
had like 4 people in the house, that takes your income up higher. And so, yeah.
No, I just wanted to ask, because you emphasized around the teachers and.
Yes, that is our
At least I
target
didn't know
market.
if you was
Because
gonna,
those are the
like,
ones that have a very hard time trying to
Right.
find
No,
a
I
decent,
definitely
affordable place.
understand.
You can buy an older home, but by the time you put all that work in it, you may as well buy
Yeah.
something new that's going to be sustainable.
Yes.
Because of the work we do with home repairs, we work with a lot of contractors. We're into energy efficiency, sustainability. And so all that comes with that. We want to make sure that water conservation is instilled, education to teach our homeowners how to be able to maintain their homes, to teach them how to be able to save money. When we talk about 30% AMI, 30%, people living above that. You have 44% of people that are living above their means, living in apartments, and you can come and buy your own home, and it'll be cheaper than renting an apartment. Get your roommate, and you set free.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, Councilwoman Davis, and then
Did,
Mayor Pro Tem.
Okay. First and foremost, I want to say, Ms. Thompson, when I saw this, I was like, yes, we need this. And I don't think you've shared what you do here in Fairburn, all the businesses that you have. Can you give, because there's some people that may not know that. Can you give a little bit of background of what you do?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm here representing Nehemiah Project Community Development Corporation. I started this back in 2002. We just did small things around Fairburn. We cleaned up houses. We did a lot of stuff in the Lightning area for the community down there. And I didn't have time because I was running the daycare, Harvest Rain Academy, that we started almost 28 years ago. We've educated like 5,000 children through that program. And so when I see, I don't mean to pivot, but when these kids come back, they are now grown in their 20s. They started at 4, and I'm looking at them, what are you doing? Trying to help them to get jobs. And nothing would make me more happy than to give them an opportunity to buy a house, you know, because these are people that you poured into their lives. And so that's what we do. We impact different communities. We work Metro Atlanta. We've done $10 million in the last 10 years when I stepped away from the daycare of just home repairs for seniors.
Yes, I know that.
Major home repairs for seniors so they can age in place and stay in their homes. I'm passionate about seniors.
Yes.
So that's why I wanted to do seniors first in building something, but you know, the committee didn't go that way. So I am looking forward to doing that. We also do just a food program. We do a lot in the city of Fairburn. This is our home. This is where we've been assigned, and we just want to be able to provide affordable housing.
Yes.
I don't want to use affordable, accessible.
Accessible.
Attainable.
Attainable. That's a better word. I just wanted people to know a little bit about your background.
Thank you.
And stuff and what you have done here. in the
And our
city of
church is here,
Fairburn.
of
And your
course.
church,
Yes.
Harvest Rain. I want to see this happen. And I don't know, planning and zoning, how can we, Attorney Ross, how can we make this happen? We need this in the city of Fairburn.
And especially in light of the presentation we received the last 2 council meetings about housing and the housing need and the variety of housing needs in the city of Fairburn from Director Brookins, which was a
Yes.
fantastic presentation.
Right.
So
So I mean, with the variances and everything, I know we can work this out, right?
It's up to the will of council. You have your legislative discretion to, but I think from what I'm hearing from staff, that seems to be the issue in terms of the variances themselves, not necessarily. the actual
Right, I understand, right.
but the variances. And I will say the ordinance for variances is very specific. Cost is not supposed to be a part of your, cost is not supposed to be a part of your analysis in
Right, I
determining
know.
whether or not a variance should be granted.
Right.
It's based on, as the ordinance states, the topography, whether or not the lot itself has any size, shape, or topography issues, and whether or not the sought-after variance is in harmony with what the ordinance stands for. So the zoning ordinance specifically lays out the basis for a variance. And just to remind council, cost should not be a part of your analysis in relation to that.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Smallwood?
And this may be for Denise, because, you know, this is what we've done with a lot of our other projects. Is this when we also address rental? And the cap on the rental? Because I could see where this could be a, you know, because a townhome is for ownership, right? So, you know, I know with other properties we've placed in stipulations about rentals. So is this where we do this as well? Because I didn't see anything about that.
I believe the applicant has no issues with, I mean, the focus is on this being a owner-occupied development in this instance. And to your earlier question, of course, we did the presentation, so I've seen the research. I don't disagree with the applicant's presentation at all. I think she made excellent points, and we've said that from the very beginning. But if it's the will of council for us to figure out a solution, because during our work session, the 2 work session, when we were talking about housing, this was mentioned as one of the challenges. And with our comprehensive plan, there is a zoning audit in the back of it for that reason. Because we knew that when the comprehensive plan was approved, there would be some need for some changes. And so we're lucky in that we are faced with this opportunity to review an application while we're still in the process of taking that vision and making it a reality in terms of policies and rewrite. And as the applicant did mention, the rewrite hasn't happened quite yet because that takes time. But if it's the will of council to continue the item, we can figure out some solutions and bring those to you.
Awesome, awesome.
And I
Other
just wanna-
questions? Yes, go ahead. Mhm.
But I just want to go back to that though, because I know you said that you're not opposed to, I mean, that's what you want, which is ownership, but I know in other developments, we specifically placed language around rentals.
Yes, and we can
So-
certainly make sure that that's a part of this as well, to make
Okay.
sure that that language specifying that it must continue to be a owner-occupied development.
Yes.
In this instance, I don't, usually our rental percentage is significantly low. You can't rent out, especially in a HOA, and we usually have that as a part of the review for the plat. And we can certainly add that. That's another good reason for the continuance.
Yes.
Other questions? Yes, Councilwoman Benson?
So that was one of mine as far as the rental part of it. So I don't know if that goes on the planning and zoning side and/or the HOA charter side of it.
Sure.
Yes, so we can put that as a condition in
Yeah,
the ordinance.
Usually do.
Already addressed.
Yes.
And then as far as figuring out how to make this happen, I guess my question is, since you're looking at rezoning from R3 to RCT, if there is another zoning code that would allow for all things to be considered, because we're just talking about R3 and RCT. There's another R out there that allows for that request of the 1,000 square feet and the no garage variance that just hasn't been brought up. And I asked to look at that.
Yes.
And if the concern is also about, I guess, the types of vehicles that would be in the parking area. I know there are some HOA charters that say things like, no commercial vehicles, that whole sort of a thing. And typically that is the reason why a garage is included in there, so that that commercial vehicle can go in there. Then at least look at all of those avenues. If that's the thing that's holding it up,
Yes.
then, I ask for planning and zoning to take a look
Certainly,
at that as
we
well.
can look at that. And because this is a unique application in that they also have a site within close walking distance, so it may be able to kind of bridge that gap. But we can certainly, before we started making any modifications or things of that nature, because we had a public hearing, we wanted to make sure that it's advertised. And I think this is excellent feedback, because we don't want to get too far in looking at things that are a bit untraditional, because our comprehensive plan was approved, and now we're kind of in the midst of the lucky mix of having applicants before us who want to do some of the things that the comprehensive plan calls for. But if council grants that continuance, we will work with the applicant to look at some of those items. And I think I have some solutions, but I do want to make sure that I have an opportunity to speak with our zoning attorney about it.
Okay.
And then we can bring that back if the item is continued.
And then just one more question in line with this, and I could be way out there, but I also think about the homeowners and the additional costs they might have to face, and Attorney Ross, shut me up if I need to, if I am crossing a line. But when you think about things like insurance costs, that's typically why a garage is normally considered. For vehicles, the more protection that you have, the lower your insurance costs. For residential areas, again, with the garage there, that lowers the insurance costs. We're talking about the workforce, and so there's only so much cost to go around. There's only so many dollars that they have to go around. So if there is a way to be intentional in that, so that as we are looking at certain zoning allowances, we're also thinking about the whole homeowner and the whole homeowner cost in all of this. If you're cutting one, are you making it more, are you making it difficult in another area?
I think that's excellent feedback. Not necessarily for the rezoning process or the standards, but that is excellent feedback.
Any other questions?
I had one,
Yes.
mine was in regards to the, I guess, the park. The park, you had the green space that was designated in there. Has that been reduced, or increased with the 1,200 to 100, excuse me, the 1,200 to 1,000 square
Yeah, it's
foot?
definitely going to be decrease. If we take it to 1,200, we're going to have to extend them a little bit. We did change, the buildings were facing each other, and there was a recommendation, oh, that would look good towards the street. We agreed. And so when we put them towards the street, the parking was just perfect on the backside because nobody ever goes up Green Street. It's just nobody but me. I stood out there one day, I was just watching the traffic, in case I had to do a traffic study, and I thought, it's just me. It's just me. You know, the guy that walks his dog right there with the big, great building. That's it. And so we are.
Great place.
Reason why I asked that is because in that area, you're right in between Harvest Rain and Bishop Lackey's Church at Temple of Prayer. I mean, like you're smack dab in the middle of them, and Fairburn First Baptist is like right around the corner.
Landmark, yeah.
There's not really a park area. So if we were saying teachers, police, firemen, that small of a unit size, there'll probably be some small kids attached. That's why I was asking in regards to that.
So you were asking if they could have use of that?
Just the ones that the
That live there?
residents, the residents.
It's just for the residents, yeah. It's a small space, it's not a really big space. It meets the 20% of your land space for green space.
Remember, this is urban now. I mean, urban, right? So in urban space, you don't get what you get when you have acreage. And this is about walkability.
Ability,
And it's about access to transportation.
Sustainable housing.
Yes, exactly. So, all right, any other questions or comments? All right, so, what's our decision here, to make sure I'm clear? What, you're asking for continuance? Continuance.
Yeah, just so we can, yeah.
Work
Yes.
together to-
Okay, so that is our vote?
So it would need to be continued to the next meeting. The ordinance requires that you continue a public hearing to the next regularly scheduled meeting.
Okay, so that's the motion.
Yes.
All right, so, members of council, you have before you a request to continue this item to the next meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, unanimous, both sides. Okay,
Benson
motion.
Davis?
Not Benson.
Who made the motion?
Hauser.
Hauser.
Okay,
I second.
yes, okay.
Do you have Denise?
Yes,
You need this-
yes, she
need
needs
all
this
of the
back.
stuff back, okay.
Just the, okay,
I can't see.
okay,
Can
yes.
we keep this, Ms. Thompson? Can we keep this one? Or you need that back?
You don't.
Oh, you need
No,
this.
you need this.
Yeah.
Uh-huh, okay, all right, thank you. So this is, it has been unanimously approved to continue this item to the next meeting, which would be August 24th. Yes, all right, thank you. Madam Clerk, next item?
The next item is going to be Vickers Residential Plat. This is a recommendation for mayor and council to approve the final plat for the Vickers Point Residential Development.
Hello again.
Hi.
It says a popularity contest, but I'm feeling. The item before you is a final plat request. This is for the Vickers Residential Development. This is for Phase 2, which includes the single-family. If you recall, the townhome development has started. The applicant is available to answer questions regarding the request. They have installed the requirements in terms of the park, benches, passive park area, and they also understand the original requirements concerning the development. Again, this is for the Vickers development. There we go. So the applicant has provided the required final plat. All departments have had an opportunity to review it, including Public Works, the fire department, utilities. Everyone has had an opportunity to look at it, and they have been required to put in a significant amount of infrastructure. So we are now recommending that this item be approved. Your approval would then allow this applicant to proceed with building homes. So the applicant is available to answer any questions, but we are recommending approval so that the applicant can proceed with the construction of homes. And this is a final plat development.
Okay, you have before you a request to approve the Vickers Residential final plat.
Yes.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Are there questions? Okay. I just have the one. Tell me the difference between this one and the Phase 1, because they've begun almost complete with Phase 1 of the construction.
So typically with developments of this size, they do it in phases.
Okay.
So they complete one phase, put in all the required infrastructure, it's reviewed by us, and then that allows them to start construction on a portion of it. And then for them to complete Phase 2, because they're approved for both townhomes and single-family. So for them to complete Phase 2, they had to come back and do the infrastructure improvements, had everything reviewed, and now, because they have met all of those requirements in the ordinance, they're ready to start constructing homes.
Okay, and you are recommending approval with no conditions?
No, because when the ordinance was originally approved, I believe in January of 2022, they had a number of conditions as a part of the development, so they have been able to meet all of those conditions.
Okay. All right. Any questions or comments? Yes, Councilwoman Nichols? Mhm.
Thank you for the recommendation. Do we know how long or the time frame of Phase 2? Like, walk me through what this actual next process is. Them
So-
building?
Yes, so this is them building
Okay.
homes over the last few months. They've been putting in roads,
Okay.
sidewalks,
So now it's and
the
how long?
common areas.
And how long are we till completion? What is the timeline, I guess?
I think the applicant is probably best to let you know from the start of them getting approval to now. They can let you know what their construction timeline is.
Can you share? Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. Name,
My name is
please.
Jared Brode. I'm the Land Development Manager for Direct Residential Communities.
Mhm.
I deal with the land side, so the length of the home building, I'm guessing it's probably some 2-year process maybe, till all of the 50 lots are built out the single-family side.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Just
Yes, go ahead.
Just one clarifying question about the, there is an HOA set with this as well, and I'm seeing that it shall not exceed a 2% rental cap for the detached units, and then the 3% rental cap for the attached, correct? That's still in effect?
Yes, that was approved when the rezoning was approved, so that runs with the property.
Very good.
That is excellent. Yes, and it's a great project, so get a chance to drive by. Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay, all right, so you have before you a recommendation to approve the final plat for the Vickers Point residential development. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposition? That motion carries. Next item, please.
The next item is number 6, ordinance to amend Chapter 41, Section 41-21, Public Indecency. This is a recommendation for mayor and council to approve an ordinance to amend Chapter 41, Offenses and Miscellaneous Provisions, Article 2, Crimes Against Public Order, Section 41-21, Public Indecency of the City of Fairburn, Georgia Code of Ordinances, so as to update and replace the current public indecency ordinance and for any other lawful and related purposes. Police Department.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
As you heard, we're here tonight to ask for an update to the city ordinance, specifically the ordinance that relates to public indecency. It's out of date, so we asked the legal team to bring us up to modern times. The current version states, "No person shall use any obscene, vulgar, or profane language in the hearing of others, nor commit any act of public indecency." Problem is that flies in the face of the First Amendment, and it doesn't define what public indecency is. So the updated version of this ordinance specifies that a person commits the offense of public indecency, and again, mirroring Georgia state law, when he or she performs any of the following acts in the public places and it references sexual intercourse, exposure of the sexual organs, partial or complete nudity, or a lewd caress or indecent fondling of the body of another person. And again, that mirrors state law, and that is why we're before you tonight.
Okay. Are there any questions? Okay, you have before you a motion, ordinance to amend Chapter 41, Section 41-21, Public Indecency. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, any question, discussion?
Yeah, I
Okay,
have a
yes,
question.
Nichols? Mm-hmm.
Thank you for this and for updating our ordinances. I'm just curious to know what prompted this. Did some,
We got an internal question. Someone said, hey, this says cussing isn't legal. And we said, no, actually, that needs to be updated.
right, because a lot of us might be arrested.
Yeah.
So yes, that was all. I just wanted to see what prompted it, but thank you for that.
That's vulnerability. I love it. I love it. Yes. Okay, yes. Wait, you're done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Councilman Perry?
So, Chief, like some of the music that may or may not be coming out of vehicles,
Protected by the First Amendment, yes.
okay, so residents be safe with their music.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, thank you.
But how does that fly in with our noise ordinance?
Well, volume is not the same as content.
Okay,
So, yeah.
true. Okay, okay. All right, see that nuance. All right, any other questions or comments? All right, so you have before you,
Really quick, I'm sorry.
denied.
Okay.
We're going to proceed. Ordinance to amend Chapter 41, Section 41-21, Public Indecency. And the recommendation is as was read by the city clerk. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposition? That motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Next item, please.
The next item is award of ITB number 26-016, Ferndale Phase 3 Underground Power. There's a recommendation for mayor and council to execute an agreement with Power Grid Distribution Services, LLC, to install the underground electrical infrastructure in the final phase of the Ferndale subdivision. Utilities.
Good evening, esteemed Mayor and Council. How are you?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Staff recommends that the City of Fairburn enters into an agreement with Power Grid Solutions, a vetted Electric Cities of Georgia utility contractor, to install the underground electric infrastructure for the Ferndale Phase 3 residential development. There will be no impact on the budget. For our new council members, allow me to clarify. The city provides the developing contractor with the total cost of all materials ordered for approved construction. Material invoices directly from the utility supplier are sent independent of the city to the developer for payment. There is no impact to the city budget. The procurement of a qualified contractor is initiated through the city procurement procedure, and the winning bidder is paid directly by the developer after completion. The installation of the electric infrastructure by Power Grid Solutions of the underground infrastructure will be inspected by the Electric Cities of Georgia Engineering in conjunction with the City Electric Division until completed. The City Electric Division will assume responsibility for the maintenance of the completed electric distribution infrastructure after the final inspection has been completed. Are there any questions?
Okay, you have before you okay, hold on, sorry. No, that's correct. A recommendation for approval to execute an agreement with Power Grid Distribution Services, LLC, to install the underground electrical infrastructure in the final phase of the Ferndale subdivision. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Questions? I just have one question. Is this the same vendor that did the Phase 1?
No, it is not, Mayor.
Okay.
We've had 3 different vendors. In Phase 1 that began in 2022 of June, and there was also another vendor in 2023-4, and this will be the 3rd vendor.
Okay. And is that because of timing and scope of work, or?
No, Mayor, it was just the invitation to bid, whoever answered, and whatever the winning bid was.
Okay, all right, thank you. So no questions or comments? All right, so, is there a motion to
So moved.
approve? Okay,
Second.
motion by Councilman Perry, second by Councilwoman Davis. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposition? That motion carries. Next item.
The next item is number 8, purchase of a Vermeer RTX 550 trencher. This is a recommendation for mayor and council to approve a purchase of a Vermeer RTX 550 trencher from Vermeer Southeast Sales and Service Incorporated in the amount of $157,445.41, utilizing Sourcewell contract number 110421-VRM.
You have before you a recommendation to purchase a Vermeer, explain, please. I'm ahead of myself.
Good evening again.
Good evening.
Staff recommends purchasing a new Vermeer RTX 550 trencher with attachments for the sum not to exceed $157,445.41 from city procurement approved government contract distributor Vermeer Southeast Incorporated. This trencher will immediately be utilized for the installation, conversion, repair, and maintenance of electric underground infrastructure projects. This purchase will replace the current 2004 Ditch Witch model trencher currently in the electric division. It has exceeded its safe operational viability. The government discount, when applied, will result in a savings to the city of $53,807.59. Vermeer Southeast has included a 24-month unlimited hours maintenance program for the equipment in the contract. $157,445.41 is an exceptional price for this specialized piece of equipment to enable more in-house staff installations of electric underground infrastructure. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Okay, are there any questions?
Picture is worth 1,000 words.
Councilman Perry?
So this is going to replace a piece of equipment that we already currently have that's reached the end of its service life.
Yes, that is correct.
And what new projects will we be utilizing this with? Or upcoming projects will we be utilizing this with?
The very first project that we're going to do is the Public Works project to put Brooks Drive underground and take it away from the overhead. And in the future, we're planning on doing some of the larger neighborhoods, such as Tall Deer, that area, Sir Charles, working our way to try to get all the older overhead infrastructure put underground,
And
prevent outage.
I can tell you, citizens would definitely be for this purchase if it's going to allow us to have less power outages in the city.
Okay, yes, Councilwoman Hauser?
I'm trying to understand the 24 months. What is that for?
Councilwoman Hauser, that is a maintenance agreement in the contract, so that if anything goes wrong, unlimited hours, if we were on it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for 2 years, if something breaks, they're going to come fix it.
And what happens after that?
That will have to move to a different venue after the 24 months.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions or comments? All right, you have before you a request for mayor and council to approve the purchase of a Vermeer RTX 550 trencher from Vermeer Southeast Sales and Service Incorporated in the amount of $157,445.41 using a Sourcewell contract number 110421-VRM. Is there a motion?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been motioned by Councilwoman Hauser and second by Councilwoman Benson. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposition? That motion carries. Next item, please.
Thank you.
Next item is number 9, award of ITB number 26-017, tennis court resurfacing project. This is a recommendation for mayor and council to award ITB 26-017 to Match Point Tennis in the amount of $19,200 for the resurfacing of the tennis courts located at Duncan Park. Parks and Recreation.
Hi, greetings, Mayor and Council. This is for the resurfacing of the tennis courts at Duncan Park. If you've been out there lately, you know they are not in the best of shape. So we did a ITB. It was out for 3 weeks through our procurement process. It was solicited to 857 vendors. 28 vendors partially completed the application. 4 vendors responded. Match Point was deemed the most responsible and responsive vendor with the lowest cost. They are aware, this vendor is aware, both vendors are aware when I get to the second project, that this is of great urgency for us to, as soon as, or if it's awarded, we'll go ahead and start that project.
You have before you award of ITB number 26017, tennis courts resurfacing project. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second? Okay, moved by Mayor Pro Tem Smallwood, second by Councilman Perry.
Yes.
Any questions or comments? Discussion?
Just one quick point of
Yes,
clarification.
Councilwoman
This is
Benson?
also going to allow for the pickleball line.
Yes, so we're adding pickleball lines to the courts.
And netting.
Yes, replacing the netting that is out there, adding pickleball lines, and also replacing the windscreens.
Okay. All right, any other questions?
I have one quick question.
Yes, Councilwoman Nichols? Mhm.
In the contract or the bid, it says cracks return and are not a part of the warranty. Do we have a plan, like, our staff can fix that?
So there's a difference between in the rebuilding of courts. There's a difference between a rebuild and a resurface. Our budget only right now, we're only able to do a resurface. Okay? So they can't, so the vendor cannot guarantee that the cracks will not return. Okay, yeah.
Guarantee comes with the rebuild.
With a rebuild, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
That was a good question.
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent response.
Any other questions or comments? All right, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Perry, second by Hauser. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposition? Motion carries. Next item, please.
Next item is number 10, award of ITB number 26-019, outdoor basketball court resurfacing. This is a recommendation for mayor and council to award ITB number 26019 to Playmaker Sports Construction in the amount of $38,600 for the resurfacing of the outdoor basketball court located at Duncan Park.
Greetings, Mayor and Council again. This is for the resurfacing of the outdoor basketball courts as well, and I want to, because you may see a pricing difference. This also includes the fence replacement.
Okay.
So the fence that encloses the basketball court will be replaced in this project. If you've been out there to the courts, you can see kind of how the fence needs to be repaired as we upgrade the basketball courts. This will include a three-point line. So I wanted to make sure it will include a three-point line that we are adding to the courts.
Citizen spoke.
Yes. 39 vendors partially completed and downloaded the information. 3 vendors responded to the solicitation. Playmaker Sports Construction was deemed the most responsible and responsive vendor with the lowest cost of $38,600.
Okay, you have before you award of ITB number 26-019 for resurfacing of the outdoor basketball court. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Councilwoman Benson and second by Councilwoman Nichols. Is there any discussion? Okay. The only other question I would have is, could we make sure that the electric, just double check all of the wiring and the lighting? Because there is some exposed wiring on the
Backside of the court.
Yes, yes, so just make sure.
We'll look
that
at both
that's-
for the
okay,
tennis court
thank you.
and the basketball court. And I also didn't mention that the colors will change. We've been very intentional with trying to unify the colors of Duncan Park, getting away from the kind of old Parks and Recreation green. So everything will unify within the city colors with a blue and gray.
Awesome, awesome. All right, thank you. Is there a motion?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposition? That motion carries.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, council comments. Councilman Perry?
Good evening. I'd like to first highlight the Vietnam Veterans Dinner held Friday at the VFW Post 6449 here at Duncan Park. Just want to say thanks so very much for those brave veterans, their honorable service in the face of overwhelming conditions as they defended our nation. So my hat's off to them. So that's all I have this evening.
Councilwoman Benson?
Just going to encourage everyone to attend Let's Talk Fairburn with our very own mayor and
And council.
council.
And city administration.
So it's this, so with all of us. 7 p.m. this Thursday. The address is on the website as well. And come out. This is the time to really engage and to get your questions asked and to, even talk about the civility pledge, because we are putting that out to you as well. So that's all I have for this evening.
Councilwoman Hauser?
I've enjoyed our session tonight. I've enjoyed the budget meeting that we had last week, especially the snacks and the food.
Especially the snacks. Energy boosters.
Anyways, thank you. Public safety, God bless you. Be safe. Thank you.
Councilwoman Davis?
No comments. I want us to leave before we did Thursday night at 11:15.
Councilwoman Nichols?
I'll just say quickly, yes, the city, y'all are putting us to work. We were here till 11 p.m. I'm like, but once again, I just want to thank all of our staff. Me and my boys went to National Night Out, so special shout out to the police and fire. Such a great event for the community. My kids really enjoyed it. So really just kudos to you all for continuing to be community facing. I really appreciate that. Also, as what Councilwoman Benson said around the Let's Talk this Thursday with Mayor and Council, I think this is a good opportunity for us to hear you. I think you hear us talk a lot in our opinions, and I think this is the opportunity for you to come out in a different format, a little more informal, to see mayor, council, city administration, and department heads come together and just hear what is happening in Fairburn. So thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem?
No comments. No comments.
Okay. I too want to say a shout out to police and fire for the National Night Out, and also to share with you that I've heard from numerous citizens who really enjoyed it, and that it seems to get better every year. So shout out to you for that. Congrats to all of the employees who participated in the GMA Leadership Development Certificate. I think that is awesome that we have employees who want to learn and to be better employees and have ambitions about moving up the ladder, which is what we need. That's part of our succession plan, so we have to prepare for that. And then a final thank you to Councilwoman Davis for stepping in for the second day of the budget hearings. I did watch it online, yes, and I want to say thank you all colleagues for the level of participation, the questions that you ask, and the ideas that you presented. So I've made note, and we will follow up on those suggestions. And so thank you. So, Mr. City Attorney, do we have an executive session? We do. Okay, so may I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Moved. Yes,
Second.
for personnel. For personnel, yes, thank you. Okay, yes, run. Okay, yes, we will be going to executive session for personnel.
Who provided the motions? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Nobody did, really.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, all right, Nichols and Davis in that order, or respectively. Okay,
I think I have to
okay,
separate us.
all right. So, give us, 2 seconds. Bio break needed. right, may I have a motion to return to regular council meeting?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Hauser and Nichols, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposition? That motion carries. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Perry and Nichols,
Aye.
okay, all in
Perry and
favor?
Davis?
Aye.
Perry and Davis or Perry and Nichols?
Well, Nichols, it doesn't matter, Nichols, I heard them both. Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Yes. Opposition? Okay, that motion carried, meeting adjourned.
Beat them down.